All right, back to our story. Um, Last time, the adventurers were dealing sort of with a little bit with the aftermath of the ball fight, where mostly they were trying to figure out how they could quickly resolve all the threads they currently had open and get the hell out of Dodge, courtesy of Iylis wanting to leave as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But much to their dismay, it became a day of everyone asking them questions and interrupting them. This started with first the ships leaving for the blockade, heading out of the bay, out of the shipyard nearby, and off into the bay and out into the sea, banging their bells to get the fishermen out of the way. Followed therein very quickly by the captain of the Kestrel asking if they would be so kind as to take some cargo for them to Margali. That then turned into um, Severino Cuevas collecting them to take them to the to see Lord Count Morvan, where he asked if they would be willing to go onto his payroll and look for his son in Calastria. A lot of consternation by both Rhux and Iylis as this discussion was over these two particular things was engaged. Eventually, they decided to do both because why not? The money was decent in both cases, so why not? Talking with Morven, they also were able to work with him to get a manager for the warehouse that they had acquired from the Duchess as part of their reward for you know beating off Martin Sklar and figuring out how to solve the Sea Devil problem. Leaving Morven's, while also at Morven's, they happen to meet Lady Morven, also known as Lydia Teach. Kind of the semi-awkward meeting quickly was dissipated as she excused herself pretty quickly. From there, they kind of split up. Some people dealing with the alcohol, a couple other people getting supplies. Praedyth getting his mask because the mask is all important. And otherwise, a couple people talking with a shipwright, which basically outfitted them with them paying some money, of course, a sail that allows them to go faster for an hour, some new-fangled tar that they could put on the ship that would make it go faster as well for actually 2 days, not just an hour, but not as much speed added. They got 2 cannons, one on each side for defense, although those have not quite arrived yet. And they briefly thought about getting rid of the ballista, but realizing they had enough money, they kept those. From there, everybody kind of got back to the ship again, and they were then hailed again by Beanbick Clattertrap, who needed help getting his stuff back to Calastria, his broken helical. A bit of haggling later, they decided that was okay, as long as he was willing to take the ride to Margali first. And then, basically after that, most of the rest of the day was cargo being loaded into the holds, the cannons being outfitted on the main deck, the sail getting fitted, the variety of the alcohol being delivered, and those sorts of things. So finally, towards the evening, the late afternoon, the manager that Morven had promised came by and spoke with you guys briefly about what was already there. Said that they hadn't been able to find all the merchants yet, but as soon as they had, they would kind of try to contact you if you were still around. Otherwise, you guys waited until later in the evening when it was time to go see Lydia at the Two Palms, and we kind of ended as you guys were starting to head off towards the Two Palms. But I also, actually, Hylough, you did ask about that cargo, and then you asked True of whether or not it'd be useful to have it, and I was rethinking that a bit earlier today. It was like 600 pounds on a ship. That's like adding 4 people. maybe 5 at the most, depending on how light they are. It really isn't that much weight. So if you wanted to rethink that, True would probably say it really is still up to you guys, but 600 pounds isn't that much. So, and that's where we'll start. Guys, you were about to head to Lydia's, but is that still your plan, or what do you want to do next?
Yeah, I'm gonna go buy the mask.
Oh, yeah. It is.
I mean, I think we all should go to Lydia's I'm going to Lydia's. It probably wouldn't be bad for several of us to go, but it's not a big deal. If we have anything to sell or any type
if you guys are going, I'm gonna probably stick with you guys.
So far, I'm hearing Iylis,
the 3 of us,
and Praedyth.
Okay.
As Praedyth just immediately starts heading down the gangplank.
Hold on, Praedyth. We'll come with.
Should anybody stay here for ships to add to the ship's defense, just in case?
Let's bring up the ship, since I now have pretty much added everybody in who's currently on the ship, including a couple of people who currently aren't. But well, let's see here. The people
the weapons bought yet? Have we actually had them delivered?
Yeah, everything. That stuff was part of when they came back. They brought it back with them.
Okay.
So this guy is not on the ship yet, and there's another person who's not on the ship yet. Oh, but I didn't add her. Okay, so
Beanbag
is on the ship.
I just realized I should probably stay in case they deliver the cannons, because they said they were going to deliver them in the morning, right?
In the morning, yes. It's not morning yet. It's evening.
That's
night.
Right. Never mind.
It's still night. It's like after dusk. You guys are going. So, although I have the cannons on here already too, but one thing you should note: if you go down to the cargo hold, you will see where the current cargo is. I have added it into the thing. It is basically these things right here that were added.
Cool.
And then this sort of is your foodstuffs and things like that you kind of had purchased. There's probably some of this stuff is just older things. I'm going to remake the map here without cargo in it moving forward, and then I can always add cargo like I'm doing as time goes on, or reconfigure if you guys want to. So yeah, this is your current crew. It is evening, so not everybody would be active at this point in time. Some people would be down below, either playing some dice games or something like that, or just trying to relax after a hard day. Although you guys are in port, so the day really isn't that hard. Actually, more than likely, since it's the last night before you guys head out, probably several of the crew would be out carousing. Catriona is the girl from the fisherman family. She's probably going to see her family for the evening. So that being said, Rat and Perry are still in trouble, so they're on the ship. True is not letting them off anymore. True is probably going to stay on the ship. Matt and Artek are still on the ship. So there are several people on the ship that can do stuff. Ariana is clearly not leaving the ship. She's not exactly happy. So it's up to you guys if you want to leave somebody behind.
Did True want to stay on the ship, or she want to go to shore for one last time?
She's staying on the ship. She did a shore leave that one night, remember?
Just making sure that was. I knew she did. I just know if she had anything else.
No, she's getting stuff prepped for tomorrow's departure.
I mean, I think we're okay without. I've got a crossbow that I'm going to leave as well, so I've got my longbow now. To add to the weapon hold, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I think unless somebody really wants to stay and defend, which I mean, we could use somebody, but they're after, Robert. So we've got the person they want.
I'll stay and be armored up and patrolling the deck and stuff like that.
Okay. There is one danger of having armor on a ship like this. You get knocked into the water, you're going to sink like a stone, but just keep that in mind.
Okay, I'll tie a rope to my leg.
Oh, and then get dragged under and ripped apart. Yeah, that's even better.
Well, hopefully
we're not moving.
I know. I'm just kidding. there's a reason why the sailors and stuff never wore metal armor.
Just remember when you hit the bottom of the ground, which way to walk when you hit that far in the water.
All right, so who's all heading to the Two Palms?
Marcus
is going.
Marcus,
I'm going.
Aaron, Iylis, Praedyth, Rhux. That is a no. All right, so you guys head down the gangplank and start heading off, taking your way and trying to head on over to the dives. It takes you maybe about, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes to get there. You come upon the lit up ramshackle building and head in, and there, like Praedyth you'd seen before, there's a tavern up top. The tavern up top is actually doing pretty decent business right now. There's probably 15 people up here, but even with the crowd that's up here talking and saying things and all that stuff, you can actually hear the roar through the floorboards of what's going on below. Clearly there is some kind of fight going on down there that is of interest to a large number of people. Knowing now that you can head down, you guys head down into the Two Palms, where you see several people. The Two Palms, the downstairs floor has one room which is kind of mostly just for food and drink and stuff like that. There's a guy, not Anion the Halfling this time, but a guy serving drinks at a bar. I will hide Hylough. You can still see it, but I'm going to hide him since he's not here. And you can hear in the other room, you can hear the roar of people shouting and things like that. An occasional as people are fighting. You can't see them. I mean, you can only because I have it set up, but there's more people in here than I have currently set up. There's a throng of people standing around watching over the edge. There's clearly a fire hazard, like, you know, there's no easy way out of this room, and if a fire starts, oh my god, lots of people are going to die. What do you guys want to do?
Sounds like a fun idea.
So yeah, you guys are in the Two Palms. Praedyth, what you up to? By the way, Brandon did add that spell.
Praedyth, you might want to go to the bar first, and then we'll find Lydia.
You might want to cast a fireball on the stairs and see what happens.
I don't even have that spell.
He's a warlock. I don't have that spell.
Oh.
I'm going to find Lydia.
Okay. Well, move yourself.
I was going to say,
go.
why don't you let her come to us and I'll look around. You're a little eager. She might have business that she doesn't want us to interrupt.
I mean, I went just right up to her the last time.
I think that might be best.
As you guys are kind of deciding what to do, Anion the Halfling does come by and kind of looks at you guys and says, "Oh yeah, you guys. She's over at the other bar." And he heads off into the other room and seems to sit here behind the thing.
Okay, well then, let's go.
He's also the bookie.
There is another bar. That's cool.
Yeah.
I was about to say it's kind of a weird design to have a bar, but you can't see the actual pit. But no, they got it covered.
There's another bar. There's a couple.
All the tables are occupied?
Yeah. Like there's a lot of people here. Like you're kind of moving through people just to get over to the second bar.
Okay.
And as you're kind of moving by, one kind of looks at you a little bit funny, but then you hear a whack inside of the arena, the thing down below, and he quickly turns around and says, "Oh yeah, get him, bring it down." And you, as you're kind of moving through, you can just barely make out in there two guys going at it. They look to be humans, pretty decent sized, fighting. They're currently, after that, the one guy is actually literally got the one guy down. He's kneeled on top of him, and he's just going whack, 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 whack. And you can see a little bit of blood start to spatter from side to side, as he clearly stuff starting to come out of his mouth. And then you hear one guy go as he goes, "Man, I was just hit by a tooth." And I hope I'm just going, "Yeah!"
The blood feels so real. Oh, because it is.
The one guy who's whacking just stops for a second and he goes, "Ah!" And he looks down at the other guy's bloody face and he's like, just kind of looks around, and the one of the guys at the top says, "Yeah, I think you won." He kind of.
I'm gonna start I'm gonna start chanting, "Finish him."
Iylis is really bloodthirsty these days. You started a chant to finish him, but we will continue on to Lydia and the mask portion of our evening's festivities.
I'm going to try to watch Praedyth as he goes through so he don't get pickpocketed by anyone. Since he's carrying all that money. Small. No, that's the trouble, but still.
You get to the thing, and Lydia's back in that same kind of, bartender, barmaid kind of get up that you saw her the last time. You get up there, she's serving some drinks to a few people, making some small talk. Some of the small talk to you Praedyth seems very odd. Like, what the hell? Like, she seems to jump from one thing to another kind of weirdly.
Marcus, this is your chance.
Steve's can't. Or something.
Pardon?
Can I do like an insight or something?
Sure, if you want.
To try and figure out the code.
You can.
Is she doing Thieves' Cant? I'm assuming she's probably, yeah.
Of course she is.
This is your chance.
Yeah. Marcus doesn't have Thieves' Cant.
He does not.
Actually, Marcus does have Thieves' Cant now.
I thought he did.
When I picked up Rogue.
Yeah.
Rogue levels. I think it's one of the.
Yeah. What was that insight? It's nonsensical to you. It's more. It makes sense what she's saying, but it seems odd that she would be saying these sort of things to these people. Is kind of what you get. Yeah. Marcus, she's doing some kind of deal with a couple of guys related to what sounds like a protection, some kind of protection thing.
Okay, well, everybody needs protection nowadays. So
and she's providing them with drinks and things like that. She notices you guys and quickly, but not rudely, wraps up that conversation. And those two kind of look a little nonplussed. Like, it wasn't rude, but they're like, we wanted to do a little more negotiating. Kind of look to them.
Nice.
As she kind of turns them away. She's like, go ahead, watch the fight a little bit more. Once I'm done with this other thing, we'll talk again some more. You can have another drink at that point. On me. And they're like, seem a little mollified. They head over to this thing where the finish him thing got picked up, and the guy is literally smacking her in the face even more again.
Oh my god!
Fact, 4 people are now going down into the ring to stop him. This is not intended to be a to the death ring.
I know.
They pull him
amazing
off
people are hunting you, man.
Yeah. You wonder why people are hunting.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Well, you're so you don't stand out at all. The wizard who's chanting finish him.
Lydia turns to you guys and says, it's good to see you guys again. Do you have the mask there, little man?
Yes, all finished.
Here, come around here inside and hand it to me on the inside. So she's in essence implying you should come around back to on the other side of the thing, and hand it to her that way, or at least show it to her. If you do so, she looks at it and she's like, it's pretty decent craftsmanship. You'll have to give me the name of the sculptor you used.
It's I don't know the name off the top of my head.
It might have been Madeline or something like that. I don't remember what it's off the top of my head either. I do have it written down somewhere. It's like, well, if you would provide me with the agreed upon price, I will make sure that you have a package waiting for you on your way out.
I'll give her the money.
All right. She kind of takes the 2 things and stuffs them underneath the bar next to some of the mugs and stuff like that. And then kind of suggests you should move back around.
Yeah.
Enyon will meet you on the way out, and you will be able to get your prize. She's like, did I have anything else for her? Yeah, she looks. A person comes up and she provides him with another drink. You guys want to do anything else? You can hear in the background. It sounds like they're getting ready to have another fight.
Let's go.
2 people are getting ready. You see for you, Iylis, you see a woman. She is somewhat slight, but she's got a pretty decent scar down the right side of her that just misses her eye and comes down her cheek. And she looks kind of slight and wiry. She kind of starts going down into the steps, and then that same guy who was just beating the crap out of the one kid is staying in there. So it kind of looks a little bit like an uneven fight. But as you're kind of listening to the betting going on around her, more people seem to be betting on her than on him.
Interesting.
Lydia,
Gonna place a bet?
Yeah, I'm wondering if I want to. I think I'll pass on this round.
all right. Some names here. Lydia looks at Praedyth and Marcus and says, you guys just got here in time to see Auricio, or at least, well, you go over and watch, of course. See Auricio fight against Miriam. I would bet on Miriam.
Miriam's the girl with the scar?
Yeah.
The woman with the scar is what I asked her.
Yep.
Well, I'll put 2 gold down on her.
Oh, well, and over there. So she points you to
Oh, yeah.
the table to the side. It's the bookie table. You go do stuff with him. Otherwise,
I shall.
Otherwise, she's like, oh, yep, here, another drink for you. Those 2 guys actually come back and start chatting with her again. As you head towards the booking table.
I'll do Thieves Camp before I leave. It's always interesting to see people from my past. Be well.
She's like, she and those 2 guys kind of look at you, and she kind of shrugs as they try to look at, as they watch you walk away. Praedyth, what are you doing?
He's gonna get his mask.
Okay.
He's gonna.
Well, she said when you leave, there will be a package for you. But she also
I
said it would
remember.
come from Enyon, and Enyon is currently the bookie. So
I have to wait till he's done being.
Or
Gonna
else-
watch the whole fights.
or else you should go talk to Enyon, one or the other.
Yeah, he's on his way.
Okay. Marcus, you get there and you can put 2 gold down on Miriam.
Okay.
Enyon's like,
And I shall.
Yeah. She's even odds though. You go with Auricio. He's got 4-1 odds.
Yeah. I still like the look of her, so I'll
right.
take the even odds.
All right. Put down the 2 gold. You put down the 2 gold as you hear kind of the crowd that's around the thing going, fight, 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 fight. And then you hear the roar of Auricio
But
going,
yeah, I'm looking at Iylis.
"No!"
I'm hyped.
How caught up in this is Iylis?
He's
Is
pretty
he
caught up in it.
leading the chant?
He's not leading this chant, but he's taking part in it.
Yes.
You get over just in time to see Auricio had run like charged at Miriam, and at the last second she just kind of steps out of the way and he goes right by and trips and falls on his face. And at that point you notice that her foot just barely put out on it, was just barely out on him and tripped him. And she kind of dances
Start
back
booing
and
her.
smirks a little bit as Auricio kind of and gets up, and he's like stand still, little girl, and fight me. And she just kind of smirks at him, kind of looks innocent, as innocent as you can be with a big scar down the side of your face. And he starts coming closer to her, but a little more warily. It looks like this time he's going to try to just grab her instead of trying to, like before, it looked like he was just going to try to bowl her over and push her into the edge of the wall. Now, just for your edification, this particular piece here is 10 feet down, so you guys are standing over top looking into the pit.
Okay.
So that's why it was harder to see from over in this direction, because it's just hard to see. You can hear it usually, you can see the ring or the pit, but you can't really do much until you get closer, and now you're seeing it. So he started warily coming up, and at this point in time she kind of drops into sort of an odd stance. It's like it's like she's got one hand kind of just loosely up, the other one kind of back a little bit. So it's not anything you guys have seen before. Some weird thing. But Marcus, there is something martial about it. Like you do feel like she's ready. Like you can see her slightly bouncing on the tips of her toes and things like that. So whatever this is, she seems confident or comfortable with it. Yeah. He starts to get a little bit closer, and just as he goes to reach out for her, she grabs his arm and pulls him with his momentum forward, steps to the side, and basically just hurls him into the ladder over on this side. Kind of hits the ladder, it splinters a little bit, but doesn't break, and you hear him go, "Rah!" And she kind of just takes a few more steps back and just looks at him again. She hasn't said a thing. She doesn't even seem to have broken a sweat. She's not breathing.
I'm still
hard.
booing.
Iylis is booing. Everybody, a few people are looking at you like, "Boy, what are you booing for?" Literally, somebody asked you that.
Sucks. She won't hit him. Hit her.
You say that, and she looks up at you. You say that, and she looks up at you, and she kind of gives you a quizzical look. And then whack, she gets hit in the face with a haymaker, as she wasn't ready for that. And she staggers back a little bit.
Iylis, I don't think you're making friends.
She kind of looks a little like, whoa, a little woozy, and Aerra kind of presses his advantage and starts coming up there and grabs her around the thing and lifts her up and starts squeezing on her back, and you can see her arch, and like this is the first time you've heard a and then she kind of gets past the first initial daze, and she takes her two hands and slaps him on his ears with a lot of force, it seems like, because he immediately goes and lets go and drops her and puts his hands on his ears.
Now this is a fight.
Marcus is going behind Iylis and putting his hand on his shoulder and saying, "You're not being very inconspicuous."
I'm blending in with the crowd.
She backs up again, and kind of warily starts circling around, occasionally with a glance at Iylis, like, and with a look of anger's not the right word.
Peevedness.
Annoyance is probably the right word.
She's not mad. She's just very disappointed.
Aurelio now is much more cautious. He's shaking his head every so often. His ears are clearly still ringing a little bit from that thing that happened. The fight now gets into more of a slower phase, in the sense that there's kind of now really trying to judge each other's weakness, trying to find each other's weaknesses. You get the feeling already that Miriam knows what his weaknesses are, but now that he's being more cautious, she's just not trying to press any advantages. She's just trying to let him get frustrated and start to rush like the bull in a china shop. And sure enough, after about, I don't know, maybe about a minute of this, he gets frustrated and rushes forward like a bull in the china shop.
No.
This time though, as he's coming forward, you see her drop sort of into a semi crouch, and as he gets close, she drops to her knees and just wham right in the family jewels with her fist.
Oh.
And he just goes and he kind of stands there for a second, and then she stands up with an uppercut into his
Ooh.
chin, and he comes up, and you see him literally go like a foot off the ground before he slams back into the side, and he doesn't get back up. He doesn't even make a noise.
I'm cheering. That's great. That was great.
And the crowd had gotten really quiet with a as she hit him with in the junk, and then they're like as he lands on his back. A few people look a little disappointed because they clearly put money on Aurelio, but Miriam kind of just looks around and looks at the people and looks around the whole ring until she finally her view ends on Iylis, and she just stares at him. She walks over to the ladder and starts climbing up.
I think you made a friend and probably will
I moved from the edge of the
you're
ring
about to take
and towards like the bar. And,
which bar? There's two of them here.
I'm gonna go to the bar in the other room.
All right, fair enough. So Iylis, you scamper off like the little scaredy cat you are.
The little wizard.
Marcus, you go over to the table with the rest of the winners. And basically you get 3 gold for your 2 gold, basically.
Nice.
Okay.
You win 1 gold out of it.
It's not 1 for 1, it's 2 for 1. I mean,
You know,
1 for 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems that the final thing was that you like it was less than even odds. So
That's fine. I mean, it's a gold. So
yeah, you won some money. Just it wasn't 2. You were hoping to double it.
I thought it was
You
1 to 1. So
didn't. Yeah. It seems like maybe the house takes final odds for when they actually do payouts, which is a little odd. But you're in their
house always wins.
Yeah, you're in their world right now, so maybe not the best time to argue about it. It seems like there's a slight lull in the action. Miriam, you notice as you're kind of walking away from that, Miriam kind of gets up to the top and she looks around, and then she heads over to the bar where Lydia's at and gets a drink from her, and you see them talking for a little bit. Praedyth, Enion has noticed you finally. I mean, you're the short guy. There's a lot of big, tall people trying to get money from him. And he kind of notices you finally and says, "Oh, yeah. I got something for you. It's at the front. It's at the bar up top. Just tell them Enion sent you, and it's the package."
I'm gonna go. All right, thanks. I'm gonna go get that.
All right, so Praedyth, you head upstairs and you head to the bar that's up there. It takes you a little bit to get noticed because, again, short. But once you do, sure enough, there's a package that is for you. It is given to you. If you open it slightly and look in, it does look to be the mask. And you verify it pretty much more easily by looking on the inside and see the inscription that you found before. So it is definitely the mask. Iylis, you're at the bar. What the guy kind of turns to you and says, "What do you have, kid?"
What do you got?
"I got ale, I got whiskey, I got brandy."
Give me the ale.
All right. He kind of takes a mug and takes a bottle and goes to one of these small casks that are next to it and pours some in and puts it down on the thing. He says, "That'll be 5 copper."
Pull out 5 copper, which I do have actually.
Okay, so you give him some money. He takes it and moves on to the next person. You take a slight sip of it. You were expecting something watered down. It's not.
Oh wow, this is good.
It's not watered down. It's not the best ale you probably have ever had. Your father at one point would have given you some that was pretty decent, but
yeah,
it's not watered down. It is real. It is mostly full ale. As you're kind of taking a little bit of a drink of it, you feel a hand on your shoulder.
I turn.
It is,
and she decks you.
It is Miriam.
Who's there?
Marcus, you had noticed her take a drink and kind of head into the other room. And now she just put a hand on Iylis's shoulder, and he turns around, and she's like,
I'll just watch. Like I said, he got himself into this one.
"You have a loud mouth, kid." First time you've heard her say anything. She sounds... Her voice is a bit lower than you were expecting for such a slight, wiry woman.
I'm just a fan of fights. Get a little overexcited.
Really? I would have never guessed.
That was a really good fight, though.
Oh, you didn't seem to think it was, really.
That's true. I didn't. I'm not going to deny you there. I like a fight that's got a good few hits at the start.
That's good. Maybe you need to go to a round in the pit there.
Is it a open thing?
Yeah, anybody can go in there and fight. They just have to sign up at the bookie table.
I'm not too good with my hand-to-hand personally. I'm more of a fan.
Nothing like learning in the heat of the moment.
Truly. I'll consider it. Let me finish my drink.
Name's Miriam. What's yours?
My name is
Trying to make up one on the spot.
Iylis.
I was waiting on him to say Hylough.
My name's Iylis.
Put me in. Iylis.
All right, Iylis. Well, next time keep your mouth shut while the betters are fighting. For now, I can see that you're a bit more naive in the world than most in this room. So you might want to keep your coin purse close to you as well. Enjoy your evening. She heads back into the other room, past you, Marcus.
Did she lift his coin purse?
Yeah, did she?
You check your coin purse; it's still there.
Cool. After
Marcus,
she
she moves very smooth, like almost like a dancer.
Briskly.
Want to try to see if you can figure out what maybe she is? You can give me an insight or something.
Okay, yeah, well, I'll nod at her in respect to the fight.
She nods very slightly, as if just recognizing that you have
Nodded at, yeah.
Yeah. 13. Yeah, you still think maybe she's just some kind of dancer, and maybe she was a dancer before, and she's just utilizing that in some way to make a decent money with fighting. It's hard to say though.
That makes sense. Yeah. Not a great role. So
No, not for this anyway.
Leroy Jenkins!
Robert's already been trying to do that, actually.
Robert's already trying to get himself hurt. You continue drinking your ale, Robert. You have the mask up there, Praedyth. You just take it off and leaving everybody else here? Or are you heading back down to find them?
I'll head back down.
Okay.
Well, the safer option is probably to take off and we'll catch up with you later.
Yes. The small
Yeah.
will walk through the
You want
streets by himself.
a small little
Alone.
man to walk the streets in the dark.
The streets of the dives.
Yeah, that sounds like a
Alone
great
and
plan.
afraid
With a
and
package.
in the dark.
Sounds great. That
Want me
sounds
to
like a great
die?
plan. You should totally do that. What are you guys doing in here? You've accomplished the business of getting the mask. Is there anything else you wish to accomplish here? I mean, I was trying to give you some color with the fight, so I hope that was also interesting.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
But you don't. What else are you trying to accomplish?
I think I should probably leave. Anytime I try to have fun, someone gets mad at me and someone spots me. So
Well, you don't think that
Yeah,
this
I just
woman
need to-
thought you were like recognized you or anything like that. She just was
No.
irritated by the fact that you distracted her during her fight.
serves her right.
She should be
but-
irritated by the fact she let herself get distracted.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
she let herself get distracted.
Oh,
That's the
boy.
thing.
Do you want to tell her that?
I was going to say, you can tell her that.
There.
I'll see how that works
Well,
out.
I
for
mean,
you.
she's already left. I already said what
I'm
I was
watching
You
gonna
went
this
say.
on
back into the other
television.
room, but
Yeah.
you could probably try to go find her.
I could go find her
You
and
do
tell her that
notice.
she
You do notice at
sucks.
this point in time that several more people have kind of moved into the bar, this particular bar area. Maybe there's a short break in the action, especially since they're trying to wake up Mauricio.
Yeah, he's out.
What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna finish my drink and find Praedyth.
Okay,
I think Rhux should give it a go.
all right. So you
You think
finish your
Rhux should give
drink.
it a go?
You're able to find Praedyth. Praedyth eventually comes down. You actually see him come down out of the stairs. So you see him from the bar to over to there. There's not a ton of people like over in this area, and where you're sitting, you can actually see to him over there. So you see
Yeah,
him come back
exactly.
down. Marcus, what are you trying to do? If you're in that particular area, you see Lydia is continuing to serve drinks up to various people. Most of the people, it's just like she's just giving drinks to, and very few of them seem to talk more
I
than
like
just
how she
drink
just
order.
hasn't even mentioned the fact that we saw her earlier. Pretty good.
It's up to you guys.
I
to
mean, that's
decide
kind of
where
been
you-
her thing
Well, yeah, definitely.
in
I'd say
general.
who she is here. She probably doesn't. Nobody knows her here either.
Yeah.
Well, I
I
mean,
guess-
looking over there, you can see she is dressed up to look more like a barmaid. Her hair is a slightly different color.
Does she have the scar again, or
No, she doesn't have the tattoo or anything like that on. She is definitely disguised slightly. Not enough
Right.
that anybody who knows Lydia Teach would not be able to see who it is, but enough that people who were not normally associated with her would not give her a second glance if they met her again.
and anybody that she would know in that life probably wouldn't be caught dead, or would be dead if they were caught here.
Probably.
So, Yeah, I mean, does anyone else want to do anything here? Or are we good?
Somebody want to fight?
Hylough should be fighting.
Marcus does. The
Aaron-
ranged guy
Aaron.
does not want to go hand to hand.
I think Aaron and Rhux should give it a go. I think they're the strong
Did I
ones.
forget to put Aaron in here?
No,
I'm
he's
here.
there. He's right by
He's
the
there.
fire. Right by the pit.
Oh.
Yeah, he wandered
went
in.
over. Yeah.
I mean, you could put money. You could make money out of them. Sure, put money on yourself.
You guys who are
Also
there,
get
you see
beat
that
up.
they've finally gotten Mauricio to wake up, and he kind of staggers
know who
to
he
his
is?
feet, and he's kind of shaking his head a little bit, and then he kind of and spits out a goblet of blood onto the ground, and then he realizes, oh, and at that point, you see something get thrown in front of him on the ground, and looking up, you can see Miriam has thrown down something, and she says, "Here, try that. It should get rid of that swelling." Seems to be just
Dang.
like a steak.
She has pity on him.
Yeah.
And then she kind of continues over to a table that has another person there, a guy. The guy who's sitting at the table is bald with a tattoo on the back of his head coming down into his neck. He's got a couple of earrings on. You guys have never seen him before, but she sits down at the table with him, and they chat for a bit, and he's kind of looking out on the thing. And at this point in time, as you're kind of noticing him, you notice that he actually there's a couple guys that are not too far away from him that are, there's no other way to describe him other than probably watching him, guarding him, bodyguards of some sort. And I mean, as you watch, as you're waiting for some people to get into the pit, and there are 2 new people going in, you get the feeling that maybe he is her pimp is not the right word. That's not even close to the right word. Manager isn't the right word either. Maybe bankroller.
Okay, he's the accountant.
Maybe not the accountant. Just,
I know.
You know what I mean. You're not sure, like, yeah, he seems different in comparison to some of the other Fist members you've met before. But other than that, he doesn't have the Fist tattoos you've seen either. His tattoo is basically, it starts on the latter half of his head, his bald head, and comes down the back, through the back of his neck and onto his shoulder. You can see it disappear behind clothing.
Does anyone else obviously looking, or just like watching Lydia a little too closely or anything like that?
Give me a perception. That guy is looking around the room. He's completely on the opposite side. We're talking about this particular table over here. Completely on the opposite side. If he's watching Lydia, he's got a throng of people to look through, so it's probably not the best place for that. But looking around, it does look like he is glancing at the bookie table a lot. That's for sure. And as far as anybody kind of watching Lydia or anything like that, no. I mean, you get the feeling that most people think she's just a bartender.
Okay. All right.
Only a few people know that she is in. Well,
Who she is?
Well, no. That there are people that probably, like, clearly people know that she is can speak for the Fist because you just were. But I don't think you I don't think you don't get
She's
the
a
feeling.
She's a contact with the Fist,
Yes.
maybe not the leader.
You don't get the feeling that they think she is the leader of.
Which is the way she would like that, and it's a good way to do it.
So,
yeah. All right. Yeah, as long as nothing really obvious going on there, and the bankroll guy is. Do I recognize a tattoo or anything from a different place? Or
no, not really.
Okay, not a different town or anything I've been in.
No.
I
mean, it's a tattoo that looks just like any other tattoo in some ways. I mean, I'm sure that you're sure that the iconography that is on it probably means something, but without the cultural context or having grown up in a place, it'd be hard to say exactly what.
Right.
Go ask.
So, do you guys want to watch one fight? Are you ready? One more fight? Are you ready to go?
Iylis, start cheering. Rhux, Rhux,
Woo,
Rhux.
Rhux,
Aaron,
Rhux,
Aaron,
Rhux.
Aaron.
Iylis is keeping his mouth shut.
Yeah, I am hanging out with Praedyth
Iylis
and
is
figuring
done
out
for
what's
the
going
day.
on.
He's not talking.
He's got himself in trouble, so he's two people are down in there. They're more typical. They look kind of like they're just dock workers or fishermen or something like that. They're probably just trying. They're the undercard of maybe something else, or just two guys that are like, we got a beef, let's do it in the pit.
Yeah.
They're kind of just starting to warily look around. You're hearing a few things about man, I hate it when I need names. Severo, he's 2-1 on Severo, and another one is like Luca. We'll give 3-1 on Luca. As they're kind of starting to throw out kind of better things. These guys, it's clear that these guys, based on what they're doing, they're the odds that are being thrown out. No one knows who's going to win this fight. Just
right.
They're doing it based on what the people look like and how they're.
I was about to say, do any of them look upset with their odds that are being shouted out?
Well, no. I mean, they're looking at each other, and as you're kind of watching, yeah, they're not listening to the odds. There's a kind of a look between these two, like there's bad blood between these two. They're just solving this problem via the pit, not and they don't care about the betting up top.
Actually,
Yeah.
I bet we could make money if Dresd'a went down there. Depending on
There you go. Yeah.
who she is channeling today.
She's
But
channeling today.
I
channeling-
believe I have the thief and Hu Yi.
Yeah.
She's channeling the spirit of the boulder.
well, she doesn't look like she's tough, but we all know she's tough. So, but
But I can probably channel somebody else if I needed to.
The fight down below starts, and these two get at it, and they basically immediately start trying to grapple each other. And there's not a lot of hitting going on. There's a lot more grappling going on for these guys. They're trying to get into a hold, and the one guy,
Oh, they're hogging.
yeah. Luca kind of gets a quick turnaround and sort of into a slight sleeper hold, and you can see. Forgot what the other guy's name was, but Severo. You can see Severo he's gripping on it and trying to hold on and pull the arm off as hard as he can, and his face starts to turn a little bit blue, and then just as you think he's going to start to collapse, he gets a really good jab into the abdomen of the guy behind him with an elbow, and that kind of knocks him off enough, and he's like as he comes out of the thing to the other side. He turns around and it's like, you're gonna pay for that, Luca. Next time you sleep with my wife, I'm gonna kill you. And at that, everybody in the room hears that and it's like, whoa, everybody just realized this is a personal bout at that point. Like, and as soon as that's done, suddenly you hear Luca 2-1, Luca 2-1, Severo 5-1, 5-1.
the odds became personal.
And they get up, and this time they just start hitting each other, kind of being a little more wary and start hitting each other. Luca looks to be more the dock worker, so he's kind of got that rolling gait with him from being on the docks and on ships and things like that. Severo seems to be like the fisherman style, so he's a little more lanky, probably used to reach, but he's also a bit taller, so he does have some reach. This fight continues if you guys want to continue watching, or else you guys are heading out as it continues to go on.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't have anything else here. I've said goodbye to Lydia, and that's as much as she needs. And so,
all right, you guys start heading up the stairs as the two continue to fight.
Yep.
Yeah, Rhux was debating if he wanted to fight the girl, but he's like, nah.
All right, so you guys head back up.
We can fix a fight.
Back out into.
Why are we fixing? That's not a good idea.
No, I'm just saying.
Back out
if
into the
Rhux
dives.
fight at Dresd'a, someone takes a dive. Anyway, Marcus is just wheels spinning on things that could happen. All right.
Yep. You guys head out into the streets and the dives and start heading back to your ship. It takes you, again, probably another 10-15 minutes to get there. And you guys are back at the Essenza dell'Oceano. Arriving there, ship seems quiet. What are you guys doing?
I may have one last drink in the tavern we went to when we first got here.
Drunken Maiden?
Yeah, the Drunken Maiden.
Okay, you head over to the Drunken Maiden. Question becomes,
Rhux will join him. He wants to drink
do
something.
I have the Drunken Maiden here in my list of stuff?
I'm not trying to start anything. I'm just trying. I'm just going to kind of.
Okay, but I don't remember the name of the proprietress. Mostly because I've been switching from World Anvil to OneNote, and that is one of the things I didn't pull over yet. So give me one moment to bring that up. Then I can tell you. All right.
Yeah, I don't have that.
I'll have it in a second. See to bring up the right article. All right, so
Piston was.
You head to the Drunken Maiden. No, sorry, the Drunken Maiden is in a different place. I am so sorry. You speak with the you go to the Silver Flame. The Silver Flame was the one.
Is it Iylis?
It's run by Illa Knight.
Yes.
So yeah, you head back to the Silver Flame, which is not very far away from your ship. Anybody else going there besides Rhux?
I'm going.
Yeah, no, I meant.
Okay, gotcha.
Rhux had also mentioned to go. I assumed you were going. If not, the rest of you head on.
If everybody gets back and tells me where they went, I might go.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely tell you. I'm sorry. I would make sure the ship's okay first and let you know.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll go with you.
All right. So you guys head to the Silver Flame. The Drunken Maidens in Calastria. I mixed the two up. The Silver Flame. You head on there. The Silver Flame looks like it's had a little bit of a sort of looking for clean up and fix up since the last time you were here when the Sea Devils attacked and attacked people in the actual tavern. Illa is serving behind the bar again and notices you guys as you come in, and she does remember you guys, and she nods and gives a quick tip of the hand. What are you guys doing?
I will return the gesture and go to the bar. And actually, is there a table free?
There is a table free. I mean, it is first of so it's exactly what day it is. Let us see. Yep. Calendar. It is so you can there's a table available.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go and get a table.
All right.
If it's large enough for all of us.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 3
or whoever's
of you,
there.
So as far as I know, there's only 3 of you, so yes, it's large enough.
So yeah, and go
after a moment, Illa herself comes over, says, it's good to see you guys again.
Always good to see you as well. Ales all around?
Yeah.
The 3 of us.
Maybe nicer on the nicer end.
On the nicer end. Ooh, feeling like you got some coin to spend. I like that. I like that in a man.
We're just shoving off tomorrow.
Well, even better reason to spend some coin. I'll get you something. We'll come back and maybe I'll chat with you for a little bit. And she heads back to behind the bar.
Sounds good.
You see her pull up. You see from below the bar, she pulls up a cask and sets it up on top. It's maybe 2 foot long by about 1 foot wide, and she pours 3 from that, and then puts it back under, and then comes back over. After she tells the guy whose name I keep forgetting because I didn't write it down, to watch the bar for her for a little bit.
Is it Nevin?
It might have been Nevin. I came up with the name on the fly.
Okay.
And she comes over and sets him down, and she has a 4th one, and she sits down in the empty chair that's with you guys. She says, So, you guys are leaving tomorrow. Well, here's to you guys and solving the sea devil problem. And she raises her glass and
Raise my glass back to her and nod at her.
And
Clinks all
she
around.
takes a drink from it, and she says, "Yeah, I can't thank that enough. If I would have had to deal with more of those guys coming through here, I probably would have just closed up shop and moved further inland."
Well, the
Yeah.
renovations look good. Looks like you've done some work.
Well, I had a little bit of money. Now I'm set back a bit, but we'll saw. It'll come back. I mean, without the sea devils here, clientele always will pick up. And I'm in Morven's good graces around here, so he tends to steer things my way when all possible. Him and Otis.
They seem to be good people. Morven's a good person to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, he's been one of the guys that was helping trying to find all the. He's been trying to find the missing people for me and with Lieutenant Severino and those sorts of things. So, I mean, he is noble and all that sort of stuff. So who knows? Maybe he's got some agenda, but at least I'm seeing some of the stuff, some of the fruits of that. So.
Yeah. They found some of them, right? Didn't be any of the people you were looking for?
I heard. A couple of the guys were. Yeah, they were from some of the families in the dives, but not everybody.
I'm afraid some of them may still be there.
No, she would have said, yeah, there were like 4 or 5 of them. Although a few of them were strung out, so I don't know if they're going to make it through the withdrawal or not, but hopefully they will. So you've just learned that somebody at least went and did something with those people.
Good. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That some of them were still up at the
and that's what I'm saying.
Plantation. Yeah,
some of them
exactly.
were still also the kidnapped people, and so some of them, when they brought back, she would have known about them. So yes.
Well, it was a bad thing. It's never human trafficking is never the gods strike anyone down who does such a thing.
Indeed. So you guys are leaving tomorrow?
As it stands now, I think this town has seen enough of us, and we have other ports to visit.
Fair enough. Well, if you're ever through this way again, don't hesitate to stop by.
Of course.
We'll be back.
Appreciate what you did.
Oh, thank you. And, it's also, hopefully the Navy going out and blockading won't mess up things too much for all of us. We had thought of going there, but have you heard any rumors about how that's working?
I don't know. I didn't even know there was going to be a blockade there.
I thought it already had happened. I thought that was they had already started the blockade, and we were just sending more ships to reinforce.
No. That's the point.
Oh, so it hasn't happened.
What you heard last night was that the Echinosians wanted to start a blockade, and that they're
I misunderstood.
To start one, but depending upon Maribar sending ships.
Well, that's the rumor I've heard. So maybe things
that'll send more business our way. Then people can't head into Calastria.
That's true. That's a. Hopefully that'll give you a leg up on everything. You're good people, so
it would explain those ships that left this morning, wouldn't it?
Well,
yeah,
they were going somewhere. That's for certain. But thank you for letting us get our land legs under us when we first came to town.
Mm-hmm.
Or my land legs under me. I won't say for everyone, but
yeah. Well, it's good to have you again. And this round is on me. And she holds it up again and says, "Till next time we meet," and drinks the rest of it in one long drink, and then gets up and heads back to the bar.
Not thank her, and just kind of sit there and reminisce about everything that's gone on in this freaking town.
Okay, while you're doing that, you kind of hear to the next table. You hear over there. He's like, "Yeah, I heard it was some Inquisitors. They were attacking the wizard Myrna." Yeah. And the one's like, "No, that can't be the case. Why would anybody? Who could attack Myrna? She's like, she could take you out by snapping her fingers. He's like, yeah, I know, but I guess the Searly guys, they just hate those kind of people. I heard it was like 50 guys that they sent after her, and she took them all out. And that kind of devolves into just discussion about, no way, that can't be true, and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, listen to the rumors and everything that happened, and those stories, and how inflated the totals get.
Yeah, that sort of happens with that table. Next, there's another table that's up on. So there's a slight riser in the one side. You guys aren't quite in that section, but you're close to it, and you can hear under that one. You're here like, yeah, I don't understand why they sent the galleons away. How are they going to defend the city if something like the Sea Devil's happening? So you're kind of hearing sort of that sort of thing from a few. And the last thing you overhear is no,
Someone let the dogs out, I think, in the back of the bar.
No, the last one you hear is and this one seems more domestic, is somebody's talking about my cousin, he died for some crazy cause in the iron mine. And the one guy's like, what do you mean crazy stuff in the iron mine? You know, the bauxite mines up in the whaling oh crap, suddenly I can't name my own stuff. The whaling tears. I fixed my map, so no, I didn't fix the whaling peaks, that's what it is. And he's like, oh really, do you know which mining company it was? He's like, Viol, I want to say. Maybe, I don't know. It's one of the weird things. I don't know what happened there, but who knows? He's not the only one, from what I understand, though. So maybe maybe they hit some pocket of gas or something. Who knows? So you kind of overhear that as well. Most everything else is just typical. Fish are biting, fish aren't biting. For some reason, the oysters are not providing the pearls they normally do around here. They blame the sea devils.
Right.
That sort of stuff.
Yeah, if we were staying here, I'd look at the bauxite mines, but we're not getting in town, so that's another mystery for another group.
City stays alive even if you leave. So
Yes.
Yeah, just you kind of get that flavor over the course of the next 20 minutes while you nurse that drink and drink it down.
What was her name again?
Iylis.
Iylis.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go up to her and see if she would think she might be in need of maybe a silent partner, an investor to come in.
She's like, I mean, I own it free and clear. I don't know if I need an investor, but I mean, certainly don't. I would listen clearly if somebody came by and had some money to spend.
Well, we're just looking.
You feel like she's a little off put by the question, like she wasn't expecting it. That's all.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned that you were, having a little struggle. I wasn't sure if it was.
Oh no, that's just because this damage put me back a little bit.
Yeah,
that's all.
I understand. Well,
we're in a good location here on the docks. It's not. I mean, as you can see, we're right across from the harbor masters there, and a lot of the bigger ships are along this side. But there's some competition with some of the taverns on the other side on Davishi's docks over there, but they seem to get slightly less rich clientele over there, I think. So
yeah, well, we're actually property owners now here, and
oh really,
and own a warehouse down the way, and we're looking for other investments. So I just thought I would inquire to see if that was something you needed, but if it's not, that's fine.
I mean, I don't necessarily need, but I mean, I have thoughts of maybe expanding the tavern into an inn, but I'll need to build higher. That requires a little bit of money. Probably, if I went to 3 stories, probably another 2,000 gold. I don't quite really have that much right now, but
okay,
we'll see in the future.
Well, Okay, well, we'll be back by here, and because like I said, we gotta kind of come collect our rent every once in a while.
You got property, yeah. You'll be back. Good to know.
And we'll stop in and see if there's something that if I can help you expand your business. Do it.
Interesting. Sounds interesting. Yeah, she's like looking at the 17-year-old who's proposing investments. With a little cock of her head, like, no, I'm kidding.
You too could be your own boss, and you get 2 more people in, and they get 2 people in, and
yes, Ponzine and is great. I hear. Anything else you guys want to do at the tavern here?
No, I'll tip a gold when I leave for her.
I mean, you didn't pay for any of the drinks, so
yeah.
All right.
That's kind of what I was.
All right.
Yeah.
So you tip her a gold, and you guys head out. It is now getting close to not quite midnight. You guys are getting into that area though. Heading back to the ship. Ship is mostly quiet. Let me get to everybody else that was not in with you guys. Iylis, Dresd'a, Praedyth. What are you guys doing on the ship? Aaron. In the meantime, while they're drinking.
We went back to the ship.
Yep.
I'm gonna go organize the.
You're gonna go organize the
bilge? Downstairs and the bilge and stuff like that.
All right. Iylis is fixing up his room
a little bit. Anybody want to? I'm gonna get some of the crew to come join me.
They don't want to join you in the bilge.
What?
I just don't think that's the appropriate place for the sailmaster.
That's just where I
probably
am.
Not.
It's definitely not for a wizard, or I know you're a sorcerer, but
looking
still
nice, so that like if I do need to hide down there, it's not the worst thing in the world.
It's a bilge. You really aren't going to be able to clean it up and make it look nice. Like most of the time, it's got water in it and stuff. You clean it up the best you can, and when you're done, you look at it and you're like, oh, it looks a little better.
It's cool.
I finally got rid of all those rats that were down here, at least.
Incredible.
All right. Anybody else doing anything on the ship? I mean, Praedyth, you're back with the mask. I was expecting you to do something with it.
I'm sorry. Praedyth's playing with his new mask.
Okay. What are you trying to do with it?
Hold on a sec. I wrote down its abilities.
Yep.
Let me look them up.
I can't remember if I made an actual thing for this.
I believe I have to attune to it.
Yes, you do, but I didn't write down the thing. To gain the bonus to the persuasion and deception, you don't have to attune to it, but to gain the augury and the commune, you augury and commune. It's not augury, is it?
Augury, divination.
And divination. Thank you. To do those two, you have to attune to it. So that'll be the next day thing, but you look it over. I mean, it is, you can, as you now have it in your hands and you're really kind of looking through it, and you get the feel of Azara's presence. Like, it's not like it feels everything. It's just, you can feel that a small portion of her is in this mask.
So he's gonna pray with the mask and trying to connect with Azara right now, and then tomorrow we'll try and mess with the abilities when you.
Are you gonna put the mask on when you do this?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you fall into meditation. We'll come back to you. Dresd'a, were you trying to do anything here in the ship before going to sleep or anything? Same with Aaron. Same question.
Yeah, no, I can't think of anything right now.
Okay.
Aaron's ready to go to sleep.
Okay. So the rest of you guys get back to the ship, and ship settles in for the night. as you start getting ready for the next day. Praedyth. The dark void comes almost instantly, much easier than without the mask. Still, it seems like you're in the void for ages before you hear the lilting laughter of a little girl. However, there is an ominous tinge to it that you do not remember from before. You catch glimpses of the little girl's alabaster face as you whirl about attempting to find the mischievous young aspect of Azara. The laughing fades and the dark is quiet once more. After a moment, you hear, "You have done well to find one of my artifacts," come from the darkness. At that point, you notice the mask is in your hand. Placing it over your face, in the void, you see more clearly in the darkness. A black form tinged with black feathers turns, and you see the alabaster face of Azara. However, where before the whole face was filled with white, there is a black circle on her cheek. As she approaches you, her face grows larger and larger until it fills almost your entire vision. Seeing the black circle more closely, you realize it isn't a perfect circle, the edge seems to wriggle and writhe, and there are faint stars in the blackness. The face of Azara continues to grow, and you suddenly realize those are not stars, but instead are eyes. Just before you would pass into the black circle, her face disappears and it is dark once more. "My chosen," echoes faintly around the void as if spoken by a little girl. After what seems like ages, you again hear, "My chosen," as if from a woman at a great distance. The echo of it fades. It seems like an even longer period of time passes before you again hear, "My chosen," as if spoken from an old, frail woman. As this last voice fades, the black raven feathered cloak of Azara flutters around you, and suddenly you're flying over the top of what was once called the Widowmaker when I wrote this dream, but is now called Essenza dell'Oceano. The darkness of the night makes it hard to see the deck, but you can see the crew on it going about their business. The raven circles 3 times and then heads off away from the ship to the west, faster than any raven can fly. The exhilaration of the speed and flight thrills your old bones, and your heart quickens a pace. The deja vu of what you experienced before washes over you. You fly over the sea for what seems like hours before coming upon an island. Flying straight towards it, you notice the large city on an idyllic bay with another city with a partially built cathedral sitting on the cliffs, overlooking both the lower city and the sea. Flying past the city and over the cliffs, you fly into the countryside, which is dotted with small groups of buildings and large fields of what you think are sugar and coffee. Continue to fly inland over some mountains until reaching a series of buildings and fields that lie along a small river which flows towards the glittering sea on the horizon. Swooping down, the raven skims the river until it enters a small forest, where the river slowly spreads out, making a swamp. The raven dodges amongst the trees until you notice a set of overgrown rock walls, and mounds of fallen stone bricks. It flies up through the trees and then circles once, twice, 3 times. You can see the river enter the swamp, which you now realize is a delta on the island leading into the sea. The river flows from a small set of almost mountains, and a set of fields lines each side until it reaches the swamp. The raven darts back down into the forest before landing on one of the piles of stone. It hops from one stone to the next, finally stopping after a few moments. Looking down, you see a faint marking, 3 interlocking circles. The voice of the 3 then speaks as one, though still with a slightly ominous undertone. "Search for the temple, and your faith will be tested." You awake with a start and find yourself gently swaying in your hammock, the mask covering your face, and sunlight streaming through the porthole, as it is now dawn of the next day. I agree.
Perfect.
It is morning of the 2nd of Briso. What are you guys doing?
Let's see here. We have, what business do we need? Do we have any contracts we need to sign?
The contracts have not yet arrived. Neither has
what's her name?
Our new crew member.
Cuevas is not here yet. Ennui is not here yet. You're still waiting on the cannons. So all of those things still have to happen.
We should probably put, before we leave, some of that oil on the hull. If we want to do a speed run.
The tar?
Yeah, the tar,
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay. That will probably take an hour or two to apply.
Okay. I just like the fewer things, and we got to figure out which way are we going to go. We're going to go south, or are we going to go north?
Yeah.
I think the north
Around the island.
So
the north route seemed to be better in one sense.
let me
Seemed to be
activate
shorter.
this. So yes, you see you guys are currently right here. You want to get over to here. Like I said before, you could try to go between this area here, but it's known to be filled with very sharp rocks. So it's either going around or around the north end of this one or around the south end of this one. Unless you wish to try to navigate through the Devil's Shoals.
Sure, with
Yeah, we
all
do
our
so well at that.
inexperience, Yeah. I'm good at it. I'm good. I can do that. Look, rock crunch.
I say we go north. We know there's a lighthouse. We kind of know the north anyway.
We could wave as we go by. We can-
Yeah, shortly after dawn, you're talking about the crew member. The crew member you're talking about hails the ship, basically maybe about 15 minutes after dawn. Ennui says, "Hello, Widow.
Ahoy there.
Wait, you were the Widowmaker. What? Never mind. I'm pretty sure this is the right ship. It looks like the right ship, although
You're on the right ship.
we didn't. Okay. Oh yeah, there you go.
We've changed the name. Little
She heads up the
renovations.
gangplank and says, "Ennui, I'm reporting for duty."
Welcome aboard, Ennui. Good to have you.
Yeah. I guess I'll find a bunk below. And True notices her and says, Yep. We'll get you below. Follow me." And she takes her down below.
And let her know we're going to Margal, and then
What? As you say that, she's like, "I thought we were going to Calastria."
Calestria. Just a little bit added run.
All right. Whatever. You guys operate it. I'm
Just want to make sure you're aware.
I'm just the crew.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We did say Calestria, so I wanted to make sure that she knew we weren't just she'd be out to sea and like, oops.
If I think we have time to take on that job with the 600 pounds, I'm gonna go for it. So if I think we have time to get it delivered and
Okay.
before we need to show
You can always ask.
So the job you're speaking of was you talked to Bene last time. It is 20 barrels of coffee, and it just to Margali, the job will pay 30 gold. I mean, it's only a day and a half, so and you'll get 10 gold up front and 20 when you arrive. And there will be a person coming with you. Benny also was like, I mean, if you're coming back this way, clearly, if you wait a day, we will get some cargo, and we'll gladly, if this all works out, we'll gladly hire you again to bring it back. But it's not expected.
So what do we know about Benny? Or do any of it? Have you mentioned this to us, by the way? Hylough, because this has been your deal, I think.
I just got it off the board. I don't really know anything.
Well, you do know that Benny is. You went to a place called Moravan's Grounds.
Oh, that's right.
And getting there, it's very clear that this is sort of a foodstuffs kind of place, but it certainly has Count Morven's name on it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll explain all that.
And it is on the docks. Like it's in this area. Like it's literally down like 4 or 5 blocks down the docks. That's where this place is.
It's a local guy known by the people that we're already working for. So,
and we
were associated with.
You found out about this before we took on the passenger? Like the job was up on the board before we knew anything about it. Okay. Just making sure that,
I think so. Is that right?
Yeah, the job, this is one of the jobs that's been there for a couple days.
Yeah, Marcus is just being paranoid. It's just his thing. So he's making sure he's not getting a spy put on the ship to screw us up on our route to
there's just a little uncertainty of whether or not we had the capacity to carry it. That's all. So I just wanted to make sure so we didn't get weighed down. And True thinks it's okay. So.
Yeah, True changed her tune. She does think it's okay. It's only 600 pounds. Like if it was a couple thousand pounds, she'd be like, but only 600 is not terrible.
Let's make sure if we're boarded by Imperial ships, don't throw it overboard.
It's just caution.
Being Be in trouble with the huts.
That's right.
Anyway, DMCA.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, how long does it take? Find out. Do you want to go and talk to them and?
Oh, they're right here. We can just grab. They can probably bring it right over. We'll get it loaded up.
Well, let's go do it if you don't mind me tagging along.
Oh, please come on.
All right, you guys start heading down the docks. You guys get down the gangplank and are starting to walk down the pier towards where you would take a left turn to go to the thing. And you make that left turn, and as you're going by there, you see two carts come by you guys, and they've got a big long
helicopter
crate in each one. No, the helicopter stuff's already in. You already have all the other cargo in your ship.
This is the other thing.
The cannons.
Yeah, so they just go by and you keep going, and then they seem to turn down your pier. You guys continue heading down. For those of you on the ship, about 5 minutes after these guys leave, a guy hails up. He's like, "Ahoy, Essenza! Got some cannons for you?"
Bring them right up.
Right. Aaron says, "Well, we're gonna have to use it." So they start to use the crane to get them up onto the ship. The one guy comes up and he starts talking to you, Aaron. He says, "Yep, 2 cannons, 8 pounds. I see you've already got some cannonball there. Good. Although we are going to give you, we're going to see more of it. Here's another. Each one comes with a dozen, and one barrel of powder. Also, he says, well, we'll wait until we get them installed, and then I'll give you some extra instructions." And him and the crew start, taking the first one and manhandling it onto the ship via the crane, and we'll get back to you guys as they start to put the cannons in place. Hylough and Marcus, you guys reach basically it looks like a warehouse that has basically what looks to be like coffee cup on it, with the piping hot kind of thing. Going inside, this is Morven's grounds. You can see it. There's basically a small counter in front, but in front of a large warehouse, and you can see tons and tons of barrels of various things. They're closed, so it's hard to say exactly what's in each one of them, and as well as several crates and things of that nature. Approaching, Benny is already there, and he recognizes you, Hylough, and says, "Did you change your mind?"
Yes, we did. We would like to take on your cargo.
Well, excellent. Let me. What time are you trying to leave? Get out of here by?
In about 30 minutes.
No, it's
pretty soon.
Like,
this morning.
Probably a couple hours.
We're trying to show.
Yeah, a couple hours. Because the guns take time and the applying of the tar.
Yeah. You guys are gonna have to apply the tar, by the way. So you have to get somebody to do it, but we'll get back to that in a second. He says, all right. I'll get Otis to get some men to start moving the barrels to your ship, and we'll get him set up. And then I have a guy, a merchant who will go with you, whose name I didn't make up because I wasn't expecting this, but a moment, and he will have a name. Actually, she will have a name. Her name is Elsa. Elsa, my sales merchant. Elsa will be joining the ship for the voyage. Shouldn't take too long. It's only to Margal, so I will send her over with the cargo. It'll probably be an hour, actually.
Does she need any special accommodations, or she can?
No, not that I know of. She might have a peanut allergy, but other than that, I think she's fine.
That's not good. Well, tell her not to sit around me. I love peanuts.
You're just nuts, not peanuts.
Yeah.
Don't.
Oh, good. Here, and he pulls out basically a sheet. If you guys would put your John Hancock here. John Hancock's everywhere, guys.
There you go.
There's always a John Hancock.
There's always a John Hancock.
I'll sign it.
It's a contract, basically. Just you're delivering the stuff. They're required to give you 10 gold now, and he gives you 10 gold as you hand him the contract, and that you'll get 20 gold on arrival of the cargo at Margal.
And is she coming? She's going to stay. Is she the person who's going with us?
Yes,
She's right.
Yeah, she'll like I said before when I was talking to your companion here yesterday. If you guys are able to stay at Margali for a day or two, we'll probably have some cargo to come back here. But it's not a requirement. That's not part of this contract. It would be a different contract.
Yeah, we may be looking to move on from there pretty quickly, but
and that's fine. Elsa will we'll put her up in accommodations there as she gets the other cargo. We have another trading company warehouse there, so this is not a problem. Like Marcus, this is very, very above
standard.
board. This is standard.
Yeah,
just like you guys potentially could literally drop your entire crew in Margali and hire a new one. No one's expecting you to take this person back. Like they're expecting that they would either find another ship to carry new cargo or find another ship to passenger to ferry them back.
Perfect. Okay, now I know that.
Yeah, this is very standard.
And there's a lot of traffic going back and forth.
Yeah,
so
for like there's a
difficult.
in this portion of the Sea of Tears here, which is called the Margali Gulf. A lot more traffic, a lot more ships than and a lot of reasonable number of ships are going through this portion here because this is the main trade route, but not as many ships up in here, not as many ships down here, not very many ships down here. This is usually where you're going to see a lot of pirate activity. But that being said, a lot of pirates along this route because that's where most of the ships tend to be. Right?
Sounds good. Thanks for your we'll get her there safely.
Okay. Sounds good. And you guys head off back to the ship. When you get to the ship, you can see that
excellent job, Hylough. Money's always good.
One of the big crates has already been broken down, and the cannon has been pulled up on the. It's currently on a crane, getting slowly maneuvered over to the far side cannon mount that they had already kind of set up. Looking at it as you kind of are approaching, you can see it's standard kind of gray cannon. But there, as it kind of moves in the sunlight, you see it at the end of the barrel. You see a couple like flashes of light occasionally, as if the light's hitting something on it. Eventually, the things as you guys get up the gangplank and are waiting, there's 4 guys down there kind of maneuvering it into place, and eventually it gets onto the actual gun mount, which is basically the rolling thing, and they fasten everything up, and then like release it from the crane. The crane goes over. They start to set up the next one, but one of the guys stays there and continues to kind of fasten everything, get everything set up properly, and all that sort of stuff. What do you guys?
I want to investigate what's on the end of the barrel.
You head over and start looking around. There are some golden runes on the end of the barrel.
Can I read them, or do I have Arcana?
Runes.
Let's see. No, I know. I can't remember. I'm confusing my characters. Just another. Nope, I don't know. I have no clue. Our mage guy. Hey, hi, Iylis.
You're looking around for Iylis.
What's up?
You don't see him anywhere. He's probably in the bilge.
Wait.
He's in the bilge.
Yeah, I'm cleaning up.
Okay, is Praedyth around?
I don't know. It's Praedyth. You woke up at dawn. It's up to you if you. Same thing for you, Iylis. I was just teasing about the bilge thing.
Yeah, I'm probably just making sure everything looks organized for the trip out, all the supplies and things.
It's just curiosity. It's nothing to do.
So
really.
what exactly are you looking at?
There are runes on the end of the gun.
The end of the gun.
The end of the cannon.
I don't have a lot of
circles around the end of the cannon are a bunch of runes.
I can do an Arcana check, but I don't have a lot of experience with runes.
Right, you can look at.
Well, I mean, you've got more than I've got, so it's probably to keep the barrel together or something like that. But
you're kind of looking it over, and it's definitely magical of some sort. You're just not sure what these runes are intended to do.
Yeah, I mean, just decoration.
As the
not
guy
just decoration
stands up, he kind of is watching you guys. Is like, oh yeah. This happens to be the guy who came up, Aaron, that you saw when he said, "Hey, we'll get everything installed, and then I'll give you some more instructions." He looks at you guys and says, "Oh yeah, that's the extra thing that Morven asked to add. It's a what did I call it?" Says Pete to himself. I put it on the ship and I gave it a name, and now I don't remember what it is.
It's a silencer. No
it's
one will
not-
ever know we
it's not a
fired the cannon.
silencer.
It's been cool.
That thing, those things are made it so that the ship, the cannon can more accurately fire, more accurately target.
Thank you for that. He's looking out for us.
But only like 3 times in a day.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Do we need to do anything to activate? Or are you going to tell us after everything's installed?
There's a word. I've got a scroll for you guys.
Okay.
So the gist of it is 3 times per day, the cannon's command word can be activated before firing. After firing, the cannonball itself will replicate in flight, giving the attack advantage to hit and damage.
Wow.
I.e., if you actually do hit,
Cool.
then you roll the damage twice and take the highest value. But you
Wow.
can do that 3 times per day.
I like that.
Okay, excellent. And is it Red who knows how to use gun? Who's our gunner?
Artek.
Artek. So let's
Artek,
get.
the guy who doesn't speak.
Oh,
He needs to
good.
activate the. Well, who's going to be commanding such a thing? That's what you need to worry about. It's not who's going to be doing it.
I don't think you need to worry about too much about if somebody fires and say the word.
No, I was just thinking that we
It's
probably
just
need
funny.
some yeah, I hadn't thought of that. It's very true.
There's a command word. Artek can. For those of you who don't realize that if you bring open the actors directory, the 3 people, there is a folder which you should be able to see called ships, and in
cool.
there is Essenza dell'Oceano. If you open up the features, you will see the features on your ship, including the cannon, the ballista, the slip tar, the zephyr sails, and that sort of stuff. So the information
cool.
is actually there for what it does. It may not be 100% set up correctly for if you try to fire things with a cannon and stuff like that, but that information.
Excellent.
Doesn't have any reactions. The ship doesn't.
No, the ship doesn't have any reactions. So for those watching the video, I am now saying. I also have the crew set up in the thing. Captain,
I saw that.
Sailmaster, and all that sort of stuff. Currently, you don't have a bosun or a cook. That's up to you what you want to do there.
Wait, our Windmaster's our cook. Who was the cook on the other vessel? Wasn't that Iylis?
It was
I mean,
that-
it was
Praedyth.
Praedyth and me. Yeah, we kind of switched off. I mean, I can cook, but also
it seems like it probably should be Praedyth if he's the pilot. Oh, good. Our pilot and our sales master are two.
So what does a bosun do?
Yeah, I'm the pilot.
The bosun, I think, is like the second mate.
I think they have to do with like boarding actions and things like that
Bosun
historically.
definition, a ship's officer in charge of equipment and the crew, so they're the crew master. That's the
Okay,
bosun.
maybe Dresd'a should be that. I could be the cook.
Wait a minute. You're saying the woman should be the cook? Is that what you're saying?
No. I said I'll be the cook. I'll be the cook, and Dresd'a, in addition to being a lookout, she can be a bosun.
Maybe she can summon the
a bosun
spirit to
is
help her cook.
basically the deck boss.
Or is that? Didn't we hire the strong woman?
Anwi could be the bosun if you wish to.
Yeah, Anwi. Yeah.
Well, whoever
it's up to you
can cook, whoever. I'm not gonna.
I don't have all. I mean, I have
anyone
like
can cook.
stranded on a desert island cooking skills. So, but I can learn. On the job. I was also planning on just FYI. I was planning on being part of the crew in action. In other words, I was going to sleep with the crew and not try to be an officer type person.
Oh, okay. So
Part
no
of the
gold piece for
shit.
you.
Part of the crew.
I'm undercover boss sort of thing.
Oh boy.
I'm
I
gonna be
like that.
Well, you notice that I don't
Well,
have.
yeah, we got to kind of keep tabs on the help. make
Hylough
sure
and
they're not gonna mutiny.
Dresd'a currently is the lookout, but honestly, it's probably more Rat and Rat's doing stuff. I guess Hylough's your cook.
We'll see.
All right. You guys. At
Yeah,
that
the cooking
point,
sherry.
They're starting to push. They're starting to bring over the other cannon. If you want to do that slip tar, you might start it.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. How involved should we have? 2 people do it? Way faster? Is it possible? Or
You're gonna need at least 2 people to do it anyway, because you're gonna have to have ropes holding over the side to get people to do it. Somebody's gonna have to go under the water to get the bottom below the water and stuff like that. I mean, you guys can do it. It's just gonna take a couple hours. However, whoever is directing this will need to give me I guess we'll say a intelligence check to see, because they're directing them to do it. This will basically be how much of this stuff you use the first time.
Okay, so I don't have any bonuses on intelligence, so
Well, Rhux can be the one going under the water to do
and that's
this,
fine.
'cause he can swim.
You guys are going to get it covered. The gotcha here is
who's going to make the roll?
How well you do it the first time, because it's the first time you're doing it, so it's more of a. There's a chance.
I feel like Iylis's brain is large. Iylis, is your brain large?
Huh?
Doesn't seem
You
like
mean,
it.
you mean the guy who was insulting the pit fighter last night?
Yeah, I mean, he's not wise, but he might be smart.
Huh?
I have a +1 on intelligence. But
I actually have.
Are you a sorcerer or
I feel
wizard?
I feel like it would be Iylis or Brian or Praedyth would be.
I think
good
it's Praedyth
directing.
probably, but
Praedyth's got a +3.
yeah.
Then you direct. You tell the big boy what to do.
But he
Praedyth
can't
could
see.
fly his bird around and like to see.
Yeah.
He can't. I was going to say he can't see over the edge, but he could.
Guys.
I can direct. Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I don't mind helping. I've got
Alright,
the
so give me
gem of water
give me an
breathing.
intelligence
So
check.
Okay. Just straight up.
Yep. Okay, so
Sorry.
you guys basically it takes you
Hello.
2
give him
hours.
assistance somehow.
It takes 2 hours, and you guys use up basically the entire first barrel. This thing out. So you guys have 1 barrel left.
Okay.
Sorry.
So it's applied.
How long?
Do we know what not to do next time? Have
Yes,
we
you know
learned
what not to do.
anything?
You learned.
Okay.
Okay.
And how much was this we were supposed to use?
2. You're supposed to use, each barrel was supposed to give you 2 uses.
Okay.
So you
Sorry.
spending just over applying it in far too many places.
And did we get our passenger and everything from the royal ship yet?
Not yet.
We did send and let them know, right?
Yeah, no, you've already
okay.
got the cargo, just not the passenger. They said
Okay.
they would be giving you the passenger. The passenger would arrive about 30 minutes before your departure.
Okay.
Well, are we at departure time?
No, I mean, while you're in the midst of doing this sort of stuff, Lieutenant Cuevas finally shows up, hails the ship, comes up on deck with a guy. Just looks like maybe an older gentleman. He's got a scroll case with him. Cuevas says, this is Castellan Franco's Mervin's Castellan. He is here to witness the contract signing, and then he will take them back.
Escort him into the
Captain's
lounge.
Right. So you go into there. He pulls out the contracts. The first contract he provides you with is the warehouse management.
So read over it carefully, make sure everything's.
Yeah, in the end, it's just 20% of profit. It's pretty straightforward. They'll manage it. This contract only lasts 1 year, so you, at the very minimum, you have to come back within 1 year to renew the contract.
Okay.
In the meantime, they will hold any profit in escrow, and when taxes are due quarterly, they'll pay the taxes from that profit.
Okay.
And when you arrive and provide proper identification, they'll know who you are. Then you can pull it out of the escrow at any time.
I'll sign on behalf of us.
Okay.
That's all right.
So you guys sign that one?
Yep.
And then he brings the second one, which is basically the document detailing the per diem and the upfront costs and all that sort of stuff and detailing that you will be taking Lieutenant Cuevas with you to Calastria to search for Rivold. As part of that, he pulls out basically a scroll with that's sealed. He says, "This is the letter of introduction. Lord Amarillo. He pulls out another one, which is sealed as well. He says, "This is in case you need to sort of looking for. In case you run into any trouble with any of the Margal Navy blockade." And then the rest of it's pretty straightforward. That you are basically bound to this contract until you find Riffled alive or dead.
Any small print we need to worry about?
The small print was really the alive or dead part, honestly. Or you're dead. I guess that's another possible way that it would break the contract. I guess if you guys died, the contract would also be broken.
Nothing mentioning about any payoff at the end, though. So.
Not currently, no. Not in this particular thing.
Which we're getting to pay up front, but yeah, we'll see. Marcus, you want to sign that, or maybe the captain?
I'll sign.
The captain signs it.
Yeah, I think I'm still on a side of the deck putting way too much tar on the ship right now.
Yeah. So you guys sign that, and
now you need more there.
He takes. Yeah. That's. It's like Praedyth's like, yeah, we need more there. Conan says, Marcus, you barely hear Conan say to Kaido, "Can that little guy even see this spot?" And Kaido's like, "Just put more on. Didn't you hear him in the bunk last night? It was like 3 different voices. It was really weird."
He was 3 different voices last night? Marcus asks.
Kaido's like, I didn't say anything. No, he was fine.
Well, no. I mean, we all have our dreams. Okay. That's concerning.
You sign the stuff, and you get a copy of it. The copy isn't signed; it's just basically a less formal looking copy of the contract for that, for both of them actually, for your records. And the Castellan heads off. Cuevas stays with you. As you guys watch him go off, Marcus, you're trying to put some tar on, and you watch the Castellan head down, and then as you look towards the bottom of the gangplank, you see Lady Lydia Teach standing at the bottom of the gangplank.
She's everywhere.
Okay, I'm gonna disattach, I guess, and you guys,
Lady Moravon,
finish up.
Lady Moravon is there with a small retinue of personal guard.
I'll climb back up on the deck and try to wash off in the ocean as much as I can before.
Remember, the whole point of this is that it repels water, so you try to wash off.
I know.
It repels the water.
Yeah. I'll
build Flex Seal on yourself.
Lady Moravon, welcome. Come aboard.
She stays at the bottom of the gangplank. She says, "No. I will stay down here with the men here. I was just here to bid you a good voyage, and safe journeys to Calastria. Although I hear you were heading to Margali first."
Your intuition is correct. Your knowledge is. We have a slight detour, and they will be going to find the cargo that you want in Calastria.
Speaking of that, and she kind of had something over her arms. She pulls up something and she says, she pulls out a shirt. Shirt looks like it might be the size of somebody who'd be 7 or 8. She says, "This is Rivold's. This might help you if you try to do any kind of scrying for him."
It would. That is an excellent idea. Thank you.
And she hands that to you, and then she says, and it also will help because he won't know you if you find him. This is his favorite shirt, so he will will at least recognize that, and hopefully that will put him more at ease.
But age is
Yeah, you have put a lot of forethought in this. I was not aware he was this young.
Yeah, they said he was his young son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you knew he was not teenager.
John just missed a pact.
No.
I didn't. I missed it too.
She
thought he was an
says,
adult son.
well, we have tried to scry using this multiple times, but have been unable to see anything around him or even get a connection. It could be either because he's too far away, or maybe he's protected in some sort of scrying in some sort. So I'm hoping that when you get closer, you can make an attempt and possibly maybe find more location, or at least see him and verify that he is okay.
We will do our do best, which should be more than enough.
Good enough. In the meantime, Franco's management and will look after your warehouse, and I'm sure others will watch it too. She says that she
not at that.
At you.
Yeah.
And
not at that, and thanks.
Beyond that, good journeys.
We should be back soon, and with your son. So he doesn't say sons. He thought about saying sons, but he said son.
She kind of straightens a little bit as you say that, and she gives you a little bit of a look of like, yes, indeed. Good luck. And she turns and heads with the guard back down the thing to a waiting carriage. Something about that final thing seemed off to you.
Like he isn't her son?
That's one way to interpret it.
Yeah. That's an insight on that.
Okay.
If there's anything that comes to mind. Oh, good. No bonuses.
Oh, yeah. You get the feeling that, indeed, she, like, it's a sore spot. When you said bring back your son, that was a sore spot, which sort of implies to you that maybe it isn't actually her son.
Man, I was going for the jab of like she abandoned me because I'm her son, but okay, I may get somewhere else. Okay.
Yeah, you thought of one thing, but your intuition tells you another.
Interesting. Well, I will go and put this in the treasure chest and sort safely. Get someone to sort safely because I don't get a guitar on it. And I guess all right, go back down. And
all right, so you guys then spend the next hour trying to get this whole thing tarred up, and you get it tarred up, and it will work. You'll get to your 10% and all that sort of stuff. It's just you used more than you should have. All right. About the time you're done with that, is when when Cristobal arrives with Donald, and a female gnome who looks like this. They come up on the gangplank, and Ferdinand says, I hear you guys are about to leave. The tide is about to start. May I introduce Gulsa Wobblespell, a renowned archaeologist and sage. And she says, oh, you're much too kind. I am not renowned of any sort. No. Praedyth, if you're anywhere nearby, Gulsa Wobblespell's name does mean something to you. I've read some of her stuff.
Welcome aboard. I'll do the standard whatever while Praedyth.
Do you have a place for me to stay while I'm on board for the next day or so?
Show her to the guest quarters, I guess.
Do you have guest quarters?
I was about to say, do we have guest quarters?
We have something that we make into a guest quarters.
I mean, you can try to make something up if you want. It will take a little bit.
Yeah, like the front of the front hatch in the ship. Where I don't have the ship picture up, but
yeah, I mean, you
that
can bring it up
area
whenever you want
kinda,
now because I have.
Yeah, I was getting ready to.
there is the front area, which you guys have been sort of using as an officer's place. Right here. Oops. Right here. You could turn that into a crew, a passenger berth if you wished. Most of those guys would then have to be down below with the rest of the crew. You could as well go all the way down to the bottom to the cargo hold and potentially set something up inside of this spot back here. And if you do remember that that is where you found the papers and stuff before, so maybe that's where somebody was staying the previous time before the ship became yours, or before the pirates took over the ship.
Yeah, let's set something about at the bottom then. What do you guys think? Not the bilge, but
Yeah. We
No,
can do that.
you
This is
cannot
already
take the
taken.
bilge. That's Iylis's.
Mine.
Are there ports? What viewports?
Mm-mm.
Whatever they
it's
call
probably below water.
No, it's basically right at the water line or a little below.
Okay.
So no, there is not.
them. Yeah, we can. Well, we can't give that whole area to her. Do we need to keep the men and women separate on this?
I mean, yes, or because I didn't have this last time. This is Beanbick, Batter Trap.
Oh wow, purple.
It's very purple. And you've seen Cuevas before, but we'll show him one more time, which is there's Lieutenant Cuevas. And that is kind of what he came on board with as well.
All armored
He
up.
came on
wow.
board and plate.
No, that's not plate mail. It's like padded
that's-
in leather, but
Okay.
with a
Arm
an
or
arm,
shoulder guard.
kind of thing, which is in the shape of a lion.
Okay.
He's got a shield. He's carrying on
Yeah,
his
he's got a
back.
shield too. Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
You guys can set something.
before
Let's
we
not,
talk, well, okay, let's not go on it.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you want to do it in the future, setting up one, in the back in the cargo area wouldn't be a bad idea for future if we do want to do passengers.
Yeah. You also could
But-
potentially take this mid deck here and try to block it off or something.
Yeah.
Try
Mhm.
to add more space.
So,
Because right now you're not really
we'll work on
doing
that
much
later.
with this deck, other than this has to be open here so you can get cargo down into the
Mhm.
cargo hold. But that doesn't mean you couldn't block this off and something.
Okay. Well, let's for now, top or the bottom. I don't care which.
Well, we try to put. Let's just make them comfortable. It's a short trip for most of these people.
Mhm.
And
Just
then-
separate the gnomes. That's all I asked.
So I totally screwed up in the sense that about 15 minutes before she arrives is when Elsa and the coffee arrives. So you now have 20 barrels of coffee down below. So,
Wow.
Can we can't do anything with that ship. We can't add cargo to that, can we?
we
We
can.
can't modify the.
Well, you can. Yeah, you should be able to
Okay,
modify
okay.
it.
Cool.
But I also have other things. Which are, got to find it. So,
Oh, cool. I can. Well, it looks
yeah,
like
you
I
should
can.
be able to modify. And I can do stuff like this. So, boom! Look at that. There's now in your cargo. There is now a big barrel, but I'm gonna make it smaller.
And that was 20 barrels of coffee.
Yep. Oh, I screwed. That's what I screwed up. Give it the wrong size. 20 barrels of
I
coffee.
mean,
There we go.
Okay. Well, show her to her quarters, and is Praedyth acting weird or anything, or does he seem to want to talk to
I
her?
don't know. I'll have to ask Praedyth.
Yeah, I'm just looking around to see if he's.
Yeah, he comes up to her. It's like, well, I've read some of your work. I've got questions for you about. And he just starts babbling about different mess that he read on from her.
This is Praedyth,
He's
our pilot.
weird. He's a bit weird.
No, I didn't say that. Does she get the same vibe as that archaeologist from the first, way early on?
What do you mean?
Well,
I
the
know.
guy who was stuck on the island with us, who we
No,
left.
no. She's She
He seems much friendlier.
yeah, she's definitely friendlier. I'm sorry, I'm just putting something in the hold once I'm done with that, which I am now done. I can role play her a little bit more. She's like, oh no. Anything will do for a place to stay. If you wish us to stay down below without the portholes, I'm perfectly fine to also stay with other people.
Well, we can I
wasn't
can
what I
figure out where.
expected.
Let's put all the like Dresd'a and True and her and can all go in one room, and then all the.
All right. Do you want them up in the top here?
Yeah, they can go all up in there somewhere.
Like up here?
And then I think Sev needs a porthole.
Yeah,
So
Sev needs to be towards the top. Actually, yeah.
Sev
If you get seasick, he's supposed to be towards the bottom, but he's going to be
seasick
green.
is usually better. Sev is well. There is this spot down here.
Yeah.
Where you could potentially put him in.
Is that a window?
Is that the
There
kitchen?
is a porthole there. Yeah, it's off the kitchen, but you could still put him there.
Oh, good. Food and seasickness. That'll go well.
Oh, he'll be in his own room. Like you could have two people in there. Like Hylough, you could stay in there too. So you and Sev could be good buddies.
Rhux, do you have any herbs or anything that'll help him with his sea legs? With the seasickness?
Assuming I do.
You can try something. Just give me a nature check.
I'm not good at that. I live on a boat.
No, you're definitely not
crap.
good at it. You provide him with something. It doesn't really help though. But you'll find that out later because you're currently not leaving quite yet. So you guys got all your cargo. You've lubed up the ship. You've you found the locations for various people. So for now we have Severino is going to be down in here with you, Hylough. We have Beanbick doesn't really have a spot. Beanbick he's okay with being down at the very bottom. It's okay with him. I need to add in Galsa. So we got her in this spot with Dresd'a. Is that correct? And True. So that's fine. She's okay with that. So you guys are set up there. Rest of them are mostly crew, so they're all down below. Praedyth, Aaron. I don't know who's all in the captain's quarters, but
Marcus would like to be in the captain's quarters.
And maybe Iylis needs to be in there too.
Iylis is in the bilge. We've already established.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
We tried to talk him out of it, but he's staying there.
It's wherever he went. It's wherever you guys.
Iylis should be in the captain's quarters. He and the pilot both, so they're near to the.
Anyway, so
steering.
I'm just putting people right now where they would potentially be bunking, not necessarily that this is where they'd be all the time. So just as an FYI.
Okay. Did you tell us the archaeologist's name?
Galsa. Galsa Wobblespell.
Okay.
Rhux, I don't know where you're at, but I guess we're putting Praedyth in with Aaron and Iylis in with Aaron. 3 of you are in the thing, and Marcus is in there as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Rhux, where are you at in this ship?
Sleep with the crew. I mean.
Rhux will be. Looking at the areas. Excuse me.
Oh, you can't move yourself because I
haven't been
walls.
moved. I can move myself. I just haven't been. I've been looking at the bits of the map.
You can't move yourself down to a lower deck.
Oh.
Because I don't have any way to do that. So if you wish to be down the lower deck, I have to.
Oh, okay.
Because there are walls in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is it. Just give me an idea where.
Yeah, it'll just be down in there. That's fine.
So it is getting on towards mid morning. The tide is starting to go from high to low. you guys have everybody in your all your passengers on board, all your cargoes on board. You guys then find Otis gets you the pilot to take you out, and your ship starts going out and leaving Maribar.
We never get out of here.
On your way to Margal. So let us pop out to this map. You can always drop into that other map whenever you want. What's your route? Plan your route. What's your route?
Around the north part of the island, I think.
Yeah, I think that's where we're going, around the north part.
Okay.
Go down the west side of the island, keeping the shore in sight. There aren't any currents that we know that would naturally take us to Carmagal, are there? There's not like a jet.
Well,
Gulf Stream style.
Most of the currents basically head towards the edge of the island of the like. Think of it this way: most of the water is trying to fall off in waterfalls on all these spots.
That's true.
So basically, currents are towards the outside. That's pretty much about it.
There's no reason to.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, we'll just cut.
As
like
you guys
that.
come around, you start to head to the north. Don't move yourself quite that fast. Your ship only goes at 5 miles per hour, so it's not a very fast ship. Let us pop into this one real quick.
We got tar and sails. We're good.
Yeah, well,
we're not going to use the sails until we need them.
You're at 5.5 miles per hour, sir. Ooh,
Okay.
You're going real fast. So your ship is actually on here. If you zoom in, it is this thing right here.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So it is there. Each one of these hexes, I believe, is one. Yeah, it can't be 1 mile. Well, it might be close to 1 mile. So it takes you about an hour to get out out into the ocean or into the sea, and then you start taking your way around. Remember, it took you about a little over a half day to get from, well, about 3/4 of a day to get from Tirok's Landing down to here. So it's going to take you about that much time to get going. But once you get around the bend up here and get started heading towards the east, you'll pick up more speed again. So you spend a good portion of the day of the first, basically until late afternoon. I'm going back because we don't need to.
Can we fire a couple rounds off the cannons and the ballistas just to get people used to them and make sure they're
if you want
a little bit of practice?
So you spend you take a couple hours and then that basically an hour to get out and then you're starting to head up. So an hour later, so somewhere close to midday, you want to do a trial on the thing, right?
Yeah, I'd like to.
All right. By the way, you were given the stuff for the command word for the cannons and the command word for the sails, so don't worry about it. You have it. You can just tell me you were going to activate it.
Okay.
So yeah, if you guys want to fire, who's going to be your gunners?
I am going to be the gun master. So
Artek seems disappointed.
Well, Artek can handle guns. I just want to aim them. Unless he's better. Okay, let me ask a question. Does sharpshooter affect big guns?
Wait a minute, I can't.
Obviously, the damage thing I don't care about.
I don't think so.
Okay. So then, yeah, Martek, I'll just oversee.
Gun.
That's what I was making sure.
Yeah. And in fact, there is some disadvantage to these guns. Like if you try to use one of these guns to shoot at, say, a rowboat, it has disadvantage to attack it. These are 8-pound guns. Anything large or smaller, it has disadvantage firing upon. So trying to shoot at let's say a porpoise or something like that would have disadvantage.
Right, but the ballista can do that.
The ballista could do that, yes. The cannons cannot. Well, the cannons can. They just would have disadvantage. That's all.
Okay, well, I'll let him be the gunners. I'll take the ballistas then.
All right. So you guys spend a little bit of time over the course of 30 minutes kind of going over how to fire these guns. Artek is willing to fire the cannons. Actually, Artek may not be best because he can't give the command word, but it's going to take more than one person to fire the cannons. as you guys are kind of like, remember, you got to have somebody put the cannonball in, put the wadding in, and the charge in, put the cannonball in, aim the thing, and then you fire. So it literally is a 3-action thing. If you're in an actual combat set of rounds, basically these things fire once every 3 rounds. Basically,
so I think, is it Matt?
First round is loading it, second round is aiming it, third round is firing it.
And that's fine. We got the whole crew helping.
I'm just asking. So like, if you can speed that up by having more than one person on a gun.
Okay. Well, I think Matt isn't that his friend?
Yeah, Matt's his friend. So
that would make sense to him be on the gun.
You can have the 2 of those be on the gun. Note that you can only ever really fire at a ship one side or the other. Clearly, because that's the reason why it's a broadside. Unless you had 2 ships you were trying to fire at, in which case then you could fire both guns. But
you have crew.
Yeah. So you guys spend some time. These guys have actually fired guns before, so they fire a couple rounds off, and show some of the other people how to do it. So you have so you have a little bit of redundancy. While they're doing that, though, Beanbit comes up and starts looking over the cannon a little bit, and he looks at the runes that are on the edge. After they fire one, he kind of looks at the runes on the edge and like, huh, that's some good work. Do you want me to maybe try to make it so you don't have to put in the charges and stuff anymore?
This may not end well.
I think we're getting used. Let us get used to this, and maybe we can do that. Talk that in port. We don't want to do that at sea.
All right.
But thank you for your offer. That
I mean, I am an artificer. I can try to, beef up your guns here a little bit.
So insight. Do I trust? Have I seen any of his work other than he wrecked the helicopter?
Okay, so let's be fair. You helped wreck the helicopter.
Oh no, I know.
so don't be totally giving him the bad rap here.
But well, no, I haven't seen him actually make anything, have I?
You have not. So, I can agree with that. You have not seen him necessarily make anything. He's offering to help you. That's. I mean, if you want to try to insight
these guns, I want to insight or something.
For what? What are you trying to insight?
I don't know. Do I think he's competent as a artificer? I don't have anything to judge it on. Is my problem.
You can give me an insight. It's just a hard thing to figure out.
I
mean, you can do it. He's just
what exactly would he be doing? What is this then when he said that? I'm asking. Yeah, I mean, what do you mean?
I mean, I can. I work with Caster. We, for the most part, Caster does a lot of stuff with more complex magics than I do, but I know how to here he pulls out he literally pulls out a what looks sort of like a flintlock pistol, but it's got some weird stuff on it. Some kind of, you would almost say like an aftermarket thing, but it looks like he's modified this gun. He says, look, this thing shoots acid. But I don't have to reload it. I've set it up so that I can make it so that it just will automatically recreate the acid. And he kind of points you to some runes and stuff on the sides and stuff like that. And he says, I think I could do something similar to this thing. It'll probably take a couple days because this thing's much bigger, but I don't think it would interfere with the other magic set on there. But I gotta spend a little time looking at that one first before I would say it won't 100% do that.
What about a ballista? Do you know any way to improve the ballista?
I might be able to do the same thing to the ballista. It might take a little longer, though.
Can you try on the ballista first?
Sure.
Our cannons are new, so we know the ballista. We kind of know they've been broken in a little bit. So, if you don't mind, that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, he starts looking at it. He's like, I might need some stuff to make it happen, but let me take a look at it for a bit first, and then we'll go through and then I'll let you know if there's something that I need to help.
I mean, you can look at the cannons too. Just let us know what you need. It's just
so he literally starts just examining things on the ballista, and then he starts with the ballista since that seems to be what you're more interested in stuff with.
Yeah.
So that's what he starts doing.
Well, if he breaks the ballista, it's a lot less cost-wise.
the gist of what he's trying to do for game purpose things is he's trying to apply a repeating shot to it.
Yes.
That's all he's trying to
Which would be awesome.
do.
But I'm just playing like Marcus would play.
No,
I mean,
I know. I'm just telling you what he's trying to do. Like you would understand what he's trying to do at a certain point.
Yeah.
Okay. So he
especially
starts
since
doing
we
that.
don't have as many crew, and repeating a gun would be good.
Mm-hmm. So you guys, you continue going for another couple of hours. Have anything else? No. You guys just keep going and start coming around the northern side here. As you come around here, you can see the you see the lighthouse that you had seen before.
I wave. I want to wave at the lighthouse.
And as you come a bit further around here, I'm going to drop to this particular one because you'll be able to see stuff. As you come around that north part and you get around to the northern side of this thing, you can see as you come around here, you start to see some islands off to the north. But what you first see, the biggest thing you see is you kind of start heading towards the east, and you see the volcano over here.
Oh boy!
And it's there is a bit of smoke coming off of it, but that's it. You've been here for literally like 2 weeks now, and it's not exploded or anything like that. And you've known about it. It's a venter basically. It just seems to vent off steam. It's, as far as you know, it hasn't exploded, and it has not given off magma or erupted in at least 100 years.
It's never had PCs this near though.
Yeah, let's ride by and make it do it.
So you guys keep going on, and by dusk, you guys are back to this one because it's easier to work with. You guys are basically kind of going past that to the north of it or to the south of your choice of the volcano, and about to start heading, more due east or southeast towards Margal. Anybody doing anything during the rest of that day?
No, other than kind of watching him improve the ballista and trying to learn. And
it's going to take him time. Like he looks it over. By the time it gets to dusk and you guys have food and stuff like that, and those sorts of things, he's like, I think I can make it work. I'm gonna need. You guys have any? Do you guys have any gem dust of any sort?
We sell all the gems.
I think
you did.
I don't think we have any.
Oh well, shoot. Do you
Do
have a
I
gem?
have any in my?
Do you have
do
any
I
gem?
have-
Even a gem would work.
Do I have any in my personal collection?
Gems? I don't think so.
I mean, I took paintings and stuff. Who knows?
No, none of those are gems. It's all art.
I mean, we could pick some up in Margal.
All right. Well, either gem dust, which I can put on basically the where you notch the bolt, or a gem itself, which I can then focus the magic on, and it would just make a magical bolt. Either one is fine. If you're gonna, either way, it needs to be about 250 gold's worth of it.
Cool.
Okay.
Any particular kind of gem?
Not really. I mean, if you want me to do more with it, maybe like make it do fire, like a fire bolt or something like that, then sure, ruby would be better, but that would probably be a bit more expensive. Otherwise, just pure quartz would be fine.
Would you need the same thing for the cannon too?
No, the cannon will be different. I got to look at that. That will be more runes etched upon the thing, so that'll just make the magic appear inside. But for these things, because of the way they work, I can't put a rune on the
wood.
Well, you could on the one part of the wood, but it's just easier to have it just make a completely magical bolt entirely.
That's pretty cool. All right, well, we'll
Yeah.
just pick up what we need. And
All right. Well, I mean, I'll look at the cannons tomorrow.
It would make the bolt magical, or the actual bow, the ballista itself that would fire magical bolts.
The bolt would appear and be magic. It would just be made of pure magic.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's cool.
That's why when you said a particular type of gem, he said, "Well, I guess if you get a ruby, I could make it do fire."
That's
He's
excellent.
implying it would be a fire bolt. a bolt of fire.
Yeah.
But again, that would cost more money because he's talking about you need to get a 250 gold piece gem of quartz. The equivalent style of that for a ruby would probably be like 1,000. So it's not to make it work.
Okay.
Money sinks, guys. Money sinks.
Yep.
But I'm still going to give you cool stuff for it. So, so you guys continue past and start to get into the Gulf itself, the Gulf of the Margal Gulf, and by approximately midnight, well, a couple hours later, you guys are well on your way towards Margali. Anything in particular you guys want to do?
See how the crew's doing, who seems to be strong, who seems not, and then
everybody seems to be doing okay. You do overhear Rat talking with Perry a little bit, and he's like, you do overhear him say something to the effect of, yeah, it looked like another merchant ship just behind us. I don't think it's a big problem. And Perry's like, are you sure, man? Probably should let the captain know about that. Captain Adara never wanted to know that sort of stuff. She was more concerned about like things that were dark ships and stuff like that. So
I'll come up around then. Gentlemen?
Yeah.
Seen anything?
Marcus, your ugly mug.
Well, there's that, but we want to make sure we got precious cargo, so if you find anything or see anything, let us know. It's
well, I mean, there's a merchant ship following behind us. It's maybe about, I don't know, 10, 15 miles back. But it's probably just going to Margali like we are.
Did we pick it off once we left the island? Do you know?
I don't know. I only noticed it like about a couple hours before dusk. So maybe it's just maybe we got into the same sea lane as it did. Maybe it's coming from Celestia or something. I don't know. I mean,
is it gaining or?
Let's keep an eye on it.
By dusk, he said it wasn't gaining on.
Yeah, let's try to keep an eye on it.
Dark, so.
But yeah, if you'll let us know if you see anything, maybe we could, and I'll go talk to Aaron and Praedyth, and if we cut south a little more, so we're not in a direct route, and see if this guy's following us. Let him know there's a ship following us. But
it's dark now. You're not a ship that's 15 miles away.
No, I know. But if we cut south.
Yeah, okay, and just check for him in the morning.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
And
that's what you're saying to those guys. I was just curious what you
get our.
So yeah, that's what I meant. I knew we can't see him follow it, just to see.
Well, I mean, in theory, you should be able to see him because they should have some kind of lighting on. But like you guys put up oil lamps on your ship at night.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if Praedyth. Can your bird see at night? Praedyth?
That is a good question. Hey, look. Oh, man.
I mean, if 15 miles back, it won't matter, but that's just a curiosity for future.
Yeah, check. It gives me dark vision when it's on my shoulder, but it doesn't say anything about.
I don't think the Raven has dark vision.
Okay.
By itself.
But I have Devil's Sight.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just out of range right now. I would expect.
Right.
But what do you guys think? Cut south for a little bit, and
well, I can also, merge with the Raven and go investigate a little bit, or just send the Raven and then have him come back.
Well, I said it was like 15 miles away behind us.
Yeah.
So maybe in the morning, let's think about that, and unless you want to do it, and I get some sleep and just see. It just I'm a little nervous.
Do you want to use the sails?
No, not yet. Especially not at night. We could run ourselves on a reef or something super fast.
Okay.
Unless you think we should. I mean, I don't. It's a once a day type thing. So
If you're really concerned about it,
I'm not. I mean, I'm just concerned about everything. So
Yeah. That can be all right.
we'll save it for when it gets closer. Then,
Right.
if it gets closer.
exactly.
All right. So you guys settle in for the evening.
Yeah, set watches and
Set watches and start doing that sort of stuff. Who's on what watches? And it doesn't have to be you guys. It can be members of your crew. So just keep that in mind.
I'm always
Raven's on
first
all
watch.
watches.
Marcus will do a watch. Marcus will take last watch, the early morning watch.
Okay.
Actually, no. Let me take the first watch, and I'll play some music and performance for the crew type thing.
Okay.
I can be on last watch then.
All right. It's on last watch. All right. So,
Whatever I need to be on. If I need to be on something,
Well, we need a mid watch probably.
The crew will be on various watches.
Yeah, the crew will also be on watch with us, depending.
okay. So you guys settle in for the night. First watch goes by without any issues. Second watch goes by. Accidentally went too far with my clock. Dresd'a. You there? Yeah.
Yeah.
As you drift off to sleep, swaying in your hammock, you find yourself smelling the smoke from a fire. You open your eyes with a start and find yourself tied to a tree, your hands tied to branches and your feet to the trunk. A pain in your side causes you to wince as you look down and see blood slowly trailing from your lower left side across your naked hip and down your leg. Looking up, you can see smoke and flames rising from the trees around the stone temple with its 3 domed spires. You struggle against the bonds, but the pain again shoots through your side. Then you hear a familiar voice. "Do not struggle, woman." The voice of the Naga spirit Rafa can be heard in your ears. "Hylough will not survive if you continue." You settle down and see Ravaratri, the Naga spirit, rise from what you now realize is Hylough's body. Rafa turns and faces you, Hylough. "The demons have once again left the Sithral, yet another sign of the fight to come." Naga spirit seems to fade for a moment, and you hear the thudding of a thready heartbeat in your ears. Looking at Rafa, you see through his uncorporeal form and see 3 demons in the distance, fighting something, maybe each other, you are unsure. Rafa solidifies a bit more. "Have you found the Eternal Eye?" he asks. You slowly shake your head no. He seems to become cross before hissing, "You must find the Eternal Eye and unite it with its sisters before it's too late. Look to the fates for how to destroy that which comes from the between."
Where do I find the eye?
You try to say something and your voice doesn't. You say that, but he doesn't respond. He fades again slightly as you hear a ragged breath and a low moan escape your lips. Beyond Rafa, you can see the demons have stopped fighting and now approach you and the spirit. Rafa continues to fade as he says, "You must hurry as time grows ever shorter." And then he completely disappears. You hear the ragged breathing stop, and as your sight fades, you see the demons have closed upon you. Just before everything fades to black, you see a golden arrow strike one of the demons and explode, causing you to wake with a start, sweat streaming from your brow. As you awake, it is early morning. Iylis, you're currently on watch out there. You for the last hour, something's felt a little odd, and you've noticed that sort of a fog bank has kind of overtaken the ship. And you kind of, you're kind of on the edges of it at this point.
Yeah.
And you kind of go, and it's coming from the western side, kind of moving towards the east. And to be fair, the ship has moved during the night, so you guys are probably about somewhere in here, maybe something like that, maybe a little bit further. Especially given the speed that you guys are at. Maybe not quite that far. Maybe here. You kind of feel the cold mist on your skin, and you're like, it's spring. We're Briso. We're like almost to summer. here in the sea, and this mist is really cold, actually colder than you would expect it to be, given how the summer is coming just around the corner and spring is in full bloom at this point.
Interesting.
Let's see here. What do I have to say for this? Here somewhere.
Is there anything I can do to clear the fog and get the ship sails filled and things like that?
Well, I mean, it's just fog. I mean, it's just typical fog kind of thing, but it does feel wrong. Like it feels too cold.
Gotcha.
Is there anything you also want to try to do? Like you can try to do a gust of wind and maybe see if that'll clear out any of it or not.
Yeah, I think I'll try to do that.
Okay. You have gust of wind?
I don't have it on me.
Well, then, yeah, you can't do gust of wind.
Yes, I can do gust of wind. I thought I had the spell. Like I had learned how to do that longer gust of wind thing from that guy.
But you had, but I don't. I mean, did you swap it out?
I don't know what spell level it is. I haven't ever looked it up.
Gust of wind is like first level, I think.
Okay.
That's item. No, spells. And then I need to go to spell. Gust of wind is actually second level.
Gotcha. Well, then, yeah, I'll swap it out for blur, since I haven't really done that.
Okay, so you fire off a gust of wind, and kind of blow the thing. It's, according to this, it's like 60 feet or something like that, long and 10 feet wide, blast through direction. So you, any particular direction you want to blast it in, into the fog, or do you want to fill the sails? What do you want to try to do with it?
I think I might just try to fill the sails and get us moving. All
right, so you add to the sails. The ship kind of creaks as it gets a bit of speed, a bit of burst of speed. You know that you're able to do this for about 5 minutes before it'll drop off. In about 5 minutes, you have moved far enough that you're kind of back on the edges of the fog again. Anything else you want to do at that point, as you kind of as the ship starts to slowly coast back to what it was doing before?
Just wait for everybody to get up and kind of.
Right. Well, I mean,
mention the fog.
You're probably about 2 hours away from them getting up. Something like that.
Yeah. Well.
I'll give you a perception check.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Doesn't he have some of the crew at least manning something they could ask for?
Yeah, there are other people around. You after the wind dies down, I mean, because it made a bit of a noise, it kind of quiets down again, and your hearing kind of settles to that, and you hear sort of more of a rhythmic splash, more like a.
I'm gonna look over the side and see what I can see.
Okay, so you look over the side. The fog has kind of it's not really catching up, but it's starting to thicken up a little bit. And looking over the side, give me another perception check, because it is dark. Looking out from the side of the ship, well, you look out over one side. Your ship is kind of headed southeast. You don't really notice anything. You look over the other side, you don't really notice anything. You go to the back and you kind of look off the back, and you see off the back something is moving in the water. In fact, maybe a dozen somethings are moving in the water, kind of towards the ship. It's hard to tell exactly from this distance.
And I'm going to alert the crew that's up.
At that point, we're going to stop for the evening. I have a pretty bad headache.
No.
Plus, this combat will take a bit, so.
So where was I supposed to be looking for the eye? Some temple?
You don't know. You've never actually talked to anybody about what this thing is.
Okay, I thought we had picked up a clue that I was supposed to go visit some temple, or maybe that was just wishful thinking.
No, it was wishful thinking. Like, you should probably talk to somebody with maybe a sage or a wizard or something to see if they have any knowledge. But you've not actually tried to figure out what it is, even in the first place.
So our passenger that we rescued. Next time we resume, I'd like to have a conversation with her about it.
After you rescued
the archaeologist, not we didn't rescue the one that just came on.
The one that we were taking her back. She's a spellcaster. She was
the sorcerer, Ariana.
Oh,
Ariel, yeah. Ariana.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right, guys. Like I said, I've got a pretty bad hit. So
sorry, Heather.
I was hoping to get us to a good spot for stopping it. That's a good spot, as something seems to be tracking the ship and approaching it in the water. So next time we will see what that is, and hopefully you guys will survive the encounter.
Sound like a plan.
Hopefully.
Continue our story next time.